Hi, it's a pleasure to have you join us on development issues this month. Nigeria's inflation now at 14% and is steadily declining purchasing power. We should have valid concerns about a looming recession and also the impact on Nigeria's economy, which is already overwhelmed by unemployment and other issues. And that's why that would be our focus on this month's edition of Development Issues. Joining me to have this very important conversation is Ademuyiwa Adeyemi. He is an economist and the Oyo State BudgIT officer. It's a pleasure to have you join us on the program, sir.
Glad to hear.
So we should just go straight. How did you feel, when you heard that Nigeria's inflation has hit 14%? How did it make you feel? Considering your earning and how much we have to buy, how much we have to spend on buying the basic amenities.
I feel so bad because this thing is getting deteriorating every day, every now. So I think what government should do is that government should work very well on most of consumable goods.
Okay.
They are very, very essential. And the problem is that what makes that inflation rate to be increased the way I see it, in an economy whereby if you are spending more percentage of your income on consumption items, that means that the country is going low. Because when you spend, we assumed, when you spend more of your income on consumption, that means nothing is left to be saved. So that we get as capital accumulation for investment. So when things tends to go like this, government need to work hard to make sure that everything is revived. And as it is, this is the ember time now, whereby people will be buying most of things. And at times, the way things is going on, let me put it away. If care is not taken, many people can just after a month end their salary and nothing is left out.
It brings me to minimum wage. They said they increased minimum wage to 30,000 naira, and even some states are yet to implement that. But it seems as though even anybody who is able to earn that minimum wage would have to use everything to buy food because of the prices of goods in the markets. And it now brings me to the issue of border closure. Is it one of the issues we have that has affected the prices of consumables in the markets?
Before government can embark on such policy, government must work inside to make sure that most essential products that are importing are having a kind of substitute, that maybe the production is continuing, whereby people can get, at least if they cannot get total, they can get part of it.
So you're saying that it was a good policy, but it was implemented at the wrong time?
And wrong way.
And wrong way.
Give it to it.
And how did that impact on the rising inflation that we see? How did it affect, how did it lead to inflation?
It's lead to inflation.
Okay.
Because when in a situation like this, whereby the population, let me put it that way, when the population is higher than this available resources,
the law of demand and supply
is not balanced. So demand is at high side than the supply. So no how it will affect the economy itself. And it continues like that, except government work on supply side. So that we'll be having the balance of payment favorable.
You said something about governments regulating consumables. With the high cost of production, let's even assume that we are producing everything that we need. With the high cost of production, the state of the naira, because we still need to import some things that we would use to produce here in Nigeria. And, putting all of those things into perspectives, would it be easy for government to now regulate consumables and say you cannot sell above this price, you cannot sell beyond this price?
You're talking about
regulation, price. Controlling the price of goods in the market.
Government can do it, but the problem is that, I used to say it, in a country whereby there is lack of database from everything, things will go wrong. Okay, we know the total population of the country. We should be able to envisage of what these people. It's not possible for a country to be sovereign in terms of economy. But that is why they come to global, or they call it international trade. But government should ensure that she exports more of finished product than crude or that raw product. When you export more of finished product, what you earn more. But when you export more of raw product, you earn less.
Are you saying that as against the outright border closure and banning the importation of rice, they should have just found a way to populate the markets with local products,
yes,
and then gradually phased out the imported one? Okay, I find that it's quite instructive, but it now also brings me to the issue of unemployment. And the Nigerians has very scary data when it comes to unemployment. A large number of youths, young people, able to work, willing and ready to work, and yes, are unemployed. And even the ones who are unemployed, a larger percentage of them are underemployed because they're not paid. In the value for what they do is not what they get. So, why is that? Why is it as though it seems as if we're unable to address that issue? Is it because the government is still putting hands in a lot of things that should be privatized, or is it that the economy, there are not enough businesses there are not enough companies to take the amount of labor market, the amount of graduates that we have in the labor markets?
Let me start with the government.
Okay.
Government has failed to create an environment that will make investment to flourish. Just imagine I have thousands of dollars and you ask me to come down to your country to come and invest, where I see that there is no security, no steady power supply, no good road that will channel. You can't expect, and at the end of the day, you still want me to pay tax. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
But by the time government should be able to freeze this thing up, even we have more of indigenization, indigenous people coming to invest. Not talk less of foreign people. We have everything, but the problem is that the way things are managed, and when country has all these things I'm talking about that create an environment, you don't expect investors to come in, and by the time you don't expect investors to come in, people will be having brain drain. That is why we're having a lot of chaos, a lot of bandits, a lot of insurgents caused by youth, because you normally say that idle hand is a devil workplace.
The way the economy is and the fact that there's no enabling environment for businesses to thrive has affected the kind of goods that we consume. And then it has also accounted for why we have that large percentage of unemployment in Nigeria. Yes. But on the other hand, the Nigerian government will say that some businesses are still thriving, one, and that two, we're a capitalist economy. So if people want to, if people wish to invest, the door is open. It's not as if the door isn't open. Yes, the environment might be a bit hostile, but people are still making their money. Yeah. So, would you agree with that assertion that we run a capitalist economy?
To be candid, I support capitalist economy to an extent.
Okay.
But what makes it to be very, very okay is that when government has tried to do her own part.
And does that part not include the regulations that they have rolled out so far?
Law and order, security, infrastructure, everything.
And would you judge the current regulations that we have? Are they favorable to businesses in Nigeria?
They are not favorable. Okay. I want to cite an example. Okay. I have a friend, a close friend. He told me personally that he wants to invest in sugar business, and the condition they gave to him, he cannot stand it. He has the money, but what they ask him to get, he can't get it. They ask him to go and get 5,000 hectares of land in a specific place, not just any place, in a specific place. And there are so-called some people in that business, and government is just pampering them. And see, I didn't mean this person is given chance to do that investment. It will create another employment. But that's what I'm saying, that it seems government is slumbering. There should be a way of creating competition among productions or different sectors in the country. If you have enough production, then you will not be using your own method of making your own customer. Why you have to get from my own product? And by so doing, you will be deducting something because you want to get it and you want to have larger share percent in market value.
And we seem to have a government that is not willing, to create more opportunities for more brands to emerge, especially as it relates to certain products. But one would wonder again that those in government, especially in the ministries that relate to Nigeria's economy, many of them are experts. They know the implication of these things and they understand how the economy works.
Yes.
They should be in a good position to say that the direction in which we are going isn't right for Nigeria's economy in the long term. Why does it seem as though they are not able to do the right thing?
You know why? The ministry and department just made mention. That's where I'm going. Because for any executive and legislator, though project implementation is meant for executive, but because that most of our legislators, they give them that privilege, because when they comes around to tell people please vote for us, so they give them that privilege to be nominating a project on behalf of their constituency or district they are representing. That's what brings in constituency projects that you hear about, and government earmark 100 billion for it each year. So that in each constituency, you as a honorable, as senator, after meeting with people, you should be able to say that this is the challenges of my people. They have nominated my project based on their challenges. Now, this is where I'm coming. I'm coming back to the ministry. When they nominate this project on the floor of National Assembly, they give it, the National Assembly will collect it and scrutinize it with the respective costs, prices. And after the budget has been enacted, they will give it to the ministry, and the ministry will now give work to the agency or contractors. Now this is where I'm going. Some projects that have started and the ministry has given money out for it, they fail to go out to monitor it, because if you want to give a work out to a contractor, you pay bit by bit. And for a year, they will collect money on such projects. And another year, you still come back and you still issue money out. Are you telling me they are fair enough, or they are sincere, or they are transparent? I can say that the problem we have is majorly can be streamlined down to the Ministry Department and agency. Different one we have, because they know what we can do to make this country come out of this shit we have. Why government continue spending, borrowing? Everybody is feeling the body. We are bearing the body. For example, let me tell you one thing. If government is meant to give tax to a certain producer, maybe 20%, and government is using tax for that person 40%, forget it. The problem is coming to us, final consumer.
They're already talking about increasing VAT again. That's the value-added tax to 10%.
See, in terms of VAT, I can say among the Western world, Nigeria is paying. We are still paying low VAT.
But in terms of how much we earn and the peculiarities of our economy.
Why I say that? UK as United Kingdom, they are still paying more than 25%. But one thing, that there are some basic necessity, basic facility that are bound for the citizens. Like in Nigeria now, if you go to any hospital, maybe you are here, before they can attend, even it's public, before they can attend to something, but it don't happen there. There are some things that what they are paying there, they are still getting it in return. But here, if you say want to increase VAT, what are you telling us that we are going to get in return? Is it the increase of the fuel they just increased? That you know that any increment on fuel
automatically has a ripple effect.
So when you are paying, okay, wait, from here to Odono, maybe it's 100 naira, but now you are entering the bike or cab 200 naira. You still have other things to do over there, and your payment is not increasing. That is inflation, and at the end of the day, people will be worse off. That is what leads to different illegal something in the community or in the society.
We've spoken a lot about the challenges that we face, from accountability and to transparency, and also unwillingness, lack of political will on the part of those charged with the responsibility of overseeing the country's economy. We also have other issues like our heavy dependence on importation, our heavy borrowing, quite a lot. But if we can't say that Nigeria should automatically stop borrowing, because the truth is we need money. Neither can we automatically say that we should stop importation, because the truth is we still have a lot of products that we need that we cannot produce at this time. What are the short-term measures we can use to absorb the shock?
The best thing they can do, if you want to manage, they should face our agriculture, mechanized one.
But government would already say it's already doing a lot of investment in the agricultural space.
If government, them don't want to, I'm not saying government is not doing, but government is not monitoring all these things because it's not getting down to those people who
it takes
can
us,
do. Yes,
it takes us back to accountability
yes.
and transparency. Okay.
I know of many farmers that they are good to go, but they need all these things to work.
You said something I find quite interesting. I think it was before we came on set. You said that many developed countries and working economies have 80% of their businesses are run by capitalists, okay. And government simply puts in place regulatory bodies and enabling policies
to make it flourish.
Wouldn't you say that Nigeria is also a capitalist economy where we have a lot of privatized business?
Oh, let me say to an extent Nigeria is, but something is still not okay, because when we are talking about capitalist economy, there should be a way of creating an environment whereby there will be a kind of competition. When there is competition, I will continue to be hammering it. When there is competition among the production of goods and services, all of us are consumers, will be better off. But when we are in an economy whereby we say we run capitalist economy, and government policy is favoring some set of people than other people, it won't work like that. That's why I say that it's so disheartening that in a country that cannot revive a refinery and an individual, a business refinery, it's a slap on us. It's a slap on us. Government should checkmate herself in that area. Yes.
Why does it seem so hard?
To what?
For government to checkmate itself.
Because most of them therein are not fair enough. They are there not to give back or not to represent their country or their citizens, but they are there because of themselves and their family.
So I remember that while in school, I did political science when I was in school, yes, and we had a course, political economy. And it usually ties into how politics is tied to economy is tied to politics. All of these conversations we have had so far, from the inflation to looming recession to unemployment, feels like it's bringing us back to how we run the political space.
Yes.
Yes, when we have the right leaders in place, it appears that things would fix themselves. They would put the right policies. They would know that we should have an enabling environment. They would know that things should work the way it should. Okay.
We might have a right people
in power,
but their good intentions matter most. I might be an economist. I might be in a position of maybe a political office. I might not do what I know is very right. It's not that all of them there, they don't know what is right. They know, but they have bad intention. Let me put it that way.
Those are allegations.
They failed to correct that.
Those are allegations.
No. Because it is only in Nigeria we see that the difference between the current expectation and capital expectation is high. Why? It's not supposed to be. I know government we pay for this, but there should not be that gap. It's too much.
Okay, let's come to the Naira. The Naira has fallen again. Naira is going for about 500. $1 rather is going about for 500 Naira, about 500 Naira now at black market price. And somebody is wondering, even if I wanted to come and invest, I would be discouraged because I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of months. The Naira is so unstable that I cannot predict if it's going to fall again. But the government keeps saying that they will devalue it so that it would help, so that it would help us, manage the situation. Why hasn't that worked so far?
Indirectly.
And sorry, how does it impact on the conversation about inflation that we have had so far? Yeah.
Indirectly, government has been devaluing our currency.
Okay.
Indirectly, but they are not making it to be official. Okay. Because they know if they should do that, some people will be chased away. Now, here is this. Like the question we asked before, if there are regulatory on what to buy and what to sell, and you cannot do over what government has asked you to do, things will be in normal shape. For example, let's say a cost of something that is maybe, for example, I just want to use this example, that chewing gum that you female normally chew.
Why women? Sorry.
I think just one.
Please, sorry, let's take that all over again.
Just one or two.
No, sorry to cross you. Take it all over again.
I say I'm just trying to cite an example. Okay, let me use that tied sugar.
Okay.
On a normal way, the sugar is not supposed to be more than 2 naira. But the virtue that people tend not to be holding all these different denominations. And when you get there, there's no change. When you get there, there's no change. Before you know it, we are causing artificial inflation for ourselves. And that is why I used to say that government should make sure that, even I know we still have coin, but people don't want to, all denominations supposed to be in circulation. If all these denominations are in place,
it will regulate some things.
Some things we buy. This thing is supposed to buy it 20 naira because of no change. Automatically 15 naira. I'm supposed to take buy from that place to that place. It can't cost more than 70 naira. No change. 100 naira. That 30 naira is inflation. And one thing I want you to understand, that any money you spend must bring back value to you in return, either immediately or in the long run. So when you spend 7 naira to get something, maybe you are a trader, 17 naira to get something, you come back to sell it. But where you're supposed to spend 17 naira, you spend 100 naira. By the time you are coming back, what you're supposed to sell at the rate of 15 naira, you sell at the rate of 100 naira. You see, as we are transferring the inflation, and that is why it goes.
So at the end of the day, the onus still falls back on the on government to ensure that we have the right regulations, we have checkmates in place for prices of goods in the market and all those other things. Now, as we bring the program to a close, I would like you to just focus on those important things that government needs to look at. I know you've mentioned quite a lot over the course of our conversation, but just highlight them, one after the other, so that we can walk away with something. So what we need to focus on to ensure that Nigeria's economy begins to go on the path of recovery, because I know we can't recover at once. We can't get it right as well. Yeah, so what are those things that we need for us to ensure that we get on the path of recovery?
One is that every money government spends, government should spend more on the project that we create an enabling environment. So that,
and those includes
infrastructure and power. Even this infrastructure and power, government can focus on road and power, I'm telling you. And government should ensure that any money is spent, they should follow it up. Then the price control of a thing is that to be from government. And before government can do that, the government will add excess production of some certain product that we consume. And that is why I'm saying that investment is the key to development.
Wow, it's been quite a rich but technical conversations about Nigeria's economy on development issues this month. I trust that you've learned one thing or the other, and that even as we look forward to a time when we begin to demand for a government that takes responsibility for important things in Nigeria's economy, we can also do our part by being accountable and transparent in everything that we do. My name is Zainab Sanni. Till I come your way again next month, stay safe.